back to Invincible Guarding the Globe, and today we are going to be talking about Seance Dog. Yes, the surprise release character that came in the latest update and is available through a very unique method that we will talk about later on in the video. But today we want to talk about the man, the pup himself, the goodest boy, Seance Dog. He is coming to us as a support Earth Defender character. He is ranged, and he is considered not of this Earth, ranged and flying. A note here. This is not, by my understanding, the Thraxan who impersonated Seance Dog. This is actually the comic book character in the Invincible universe, Seance Dog, which just makes me grin. And what makes me grin even more is the bio. There were sightings of this guy a while back, but those reports turned out to be false. He's not real. He's just a comic book character. Grayson reads his comics. Seance Dog is some kind of dog sorcerer who protects his realm from, I don't know, other magic crap. Why am I even wasting my time with this? I have passed on my compliments to the devs before, and I'll do it in video form here. I love these little bios that they do. I love it a lot. They make me grin, and they've had a few good ones lately. So, Seance Dog, let's talk about what makes him tick, because he's actually kinda good, like, unironically. He is actually kinda okay, which makes things very tragic for a reason that I'll talk about in a second here. Seance Field, his main ability. Seance Dog creates an area effect around the ally with the lowest HP, so basically like an AoE that pops up on the lowest HP ally, for 5 seconds. Healing allies inside for up to 12% of his max HP, Seance Dog's max HP, while dealing 130% of his base damage to enemies. So what this basically is, he plops a field on the lowest health ally that will heal any allies in it, as well as hurt any enemies in it. The damage is not going to be crazy. The damage is not going to be crazy at all. But the healing, on the other hand, is pretty okay. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. You still want to have enemies inside it, because if you take him up to a nice, cheap level 3, you get a stun. Deals 150% of his base attack damage to enemies and stunning them for 2 seconds. Literally at level 3, you get a 2-second stun. Stun is one of the most powerful debuffs in the game for obvious reasons. It literally just stops the enemy. If the enemy can't move, they can't kill you, and you can't kill them. So literally, at level 3, he gets a 2-second stun. And if you take that all the way to level 10, he gets a staggering 4-second stun. 4 seconds in this game is life or death. So if you do take it all the way, yeah, good stuff. Next, his passive, and it's a pretty good one. When fighting alongside a Not of This Earth character, Seance Dog's healing also provides shields equal to 30% of the healed amount for 20 seconds. Now, there's a lot going on here, so it can be a little confusing, but basically, as long as he has one Not of This Earth character on his team, that can be Universa, Alan, Battle Beast, I think even a couple of Viltrumites are on that list. That's actually, you know what, I don't want to make an assumption. Let's make sure. Nope. There we go. No Viltrumites, sorry, I forgot. No Viltrumites are on this list, but Universa, Battle Beast, Alan, and Shapesmith are on the list. If one of those characters is on there, the entire team will get a shield whenever Seance Dog heals them. It'll take, let's say he heals 100 damage, he will give them that 100 heal, and a 30 shield on top of that. I mean, it's basically just extra healing in the form of a shield, which is not bad at all. And then, if we do level this up a little bit, this one's a bit odd. I can kind of see what they're cooking, but additionally, at the start of the wave, he heals all flying allies for 20% of his defense. Meaning that he's supposed to be a very good support for GDA ops who have a lot of waves. I mean, it's not, like, that's not the most cracked thing, but I mean, you know, healing is healing, and especially in event ops, we're using a lot of Universa, or maybe some Viltrumites. Yeah, I can see it. And then if we take it all the way to level 10, it's 50% of his healing. So whatever healing he does, and he does substantial healing, They also get a 50% shield. Do I even need to explain why this is amazing? This is like Adam Eve, but he works all the time. I mean, dang. Also, little note here, healing gel, or really any artifact that can apply healing, will be cracked on this guy. He wants a healing artifact so dang bad, and this is why. The special safeguard ability is crazy, because it is just constant free shields. What's not to love? You can literally protect somebody from death with that. And then Spectral Bond. At the start of the battle, he forms a spectral bond with the ally who has the highest max HP. That will usually be your tank, most likely. 25% of the healing provided by Seance Dog is also applied to the bonded ally. So whenever he heals, that bonded ally basically gets an added chunk on top of it, including their normal healing, and then gets even more shield, I might add. I mean, keep in mind, whenever he heals, he's also applying shields. So, yeah, pretty freaking sweet. And then once per battle, if the bonded ally falls below 10% health, Seance Dog makes them immune to all damage for 2 seconds. Then if you get that powered up all the way, it goes up to 3.5 seconds and increases his healing effects. He can turn anybody into an immortal. Literally. It's maybe a slightly lesser immunity, but hey man, immunity is immunity. So again, we're not gonna look into that too much. Immunity is still immunity. And like again, it's probably gonna be on your tank. So like your Allen or your Conquest, whoever has the highest max HP, on top of them just face tanking everything, he can grant them immunity. I would love pairing this guy with Conquest. I would love that so much. I bet it would go crazy. I bet it would go absolutely insane. I can also see the scenario where he could accidentally support a support character because they can have some pretty good HP as well. That would be less than ideal, but not impossible to kind of play with that a little. And then Ghostly Aid. Whenever a debuff is applied to the bonded ally, Seance Dog becomes invisible for 3 seconds and casts a spell that heals up to 3 different allies for 40% of his defense. So the healing scales on his defense with a cooldown of 7 seconds, which is pretty prompt. And then if we take that up to level 10, he grants a defense boost, and he becomes invisible for 4 seconds. I mean, he's got self-immunity while he's at it, and a pretty quick cooldown at that. So basically, whenever he's bonded to somebody, like let's say Conquest, I keep blaming Conquest because, like, man, this would work. That would work so well. If he gets a debuff, Seance Dog is going to do lots of healing all of a sudden. I would also like to note that Conquest doesn't give a rat's fuzzy butt about debuffs, because he will literally just cleanse himself and then go smack somebody. So, I mean, the synergy. The synergy between any tank, really, but especially characters like Conquest or Allen. Ooh, especially Allen, because Allen just also has that Not of This Earth tag built in. Don't even have to worry about it. Ready to rock out the box. This character is amazing. And I already touched on it, but he has some artifacts that he loves. GDA Healing Gel. Whenever he applies a buff to an ally, he also applies healing over time. Shields count as buffs. Let me say that again. Shields count as buffs. Do I even need to explain? Like, a level 1 healing gel could make your team basically unkillable. The dude is cracked. And then Medical Headband, that's not too bad either. If you don't have those, Burger Mart Burger in case of emergency. I mean, that kind of depends on him getting attacked, so it doesn't really work. But I mean, you get the point. There is so much you can do with this character. He's going to be amazing. He's going to break the game. He's going to... what's that? Oh. Okay, so there's a problem. There's a problem. Pardon the impromptu bit there, but there's a problem. Seance Dog is only available in the case files. Now, that's not a bad thing in and of itself. because I actually like it when characters have unique unlock mechanics. Seance Dog is not in the recruitment. He's not in events, and you can't even spend money for him. Not directly, at least. He is in the case files. Is that a bad thing? On paper? No. In practice, ugh, because if we take a look at the case files here, you will get one Elite Seance Dog from stage 30, and one Elite Plus Seance Dog from stage 60. And you get the same thing if you do clear through Hardcore. If we take a look at my Hardcore for Invincible, you get one Seance Dog, once again, at stage 30, and once again at stage 60. So, and my mouse just died. That's fun. So, the thing with that is, here's the thing with that. It's a limited pool. And especially limited considering that literally only, like, the whaliest of whales will be able to get those last, effectively, 3 elites from the hard modes. So, basically, assuming that you have a level 2,000 character of every single one of these characters, minus the rares. The rares are a little different. You get one copy at 20 and then another one copy at 40. So the level restriction is not as bad on that because it is just shorter. It'd probably be like, you know, only 1,500. I don't know. I say only. Max. If you are the whaliest whale, you get 6 elite copies per elite case file and 4 per rare. So let's do some math here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elites times 6, 36 Seance Dogs, and then 4 for Explode, 4 for Black Samson. That's 8. So that is totaling up to 44. I can do math. I can do math real good. I got a degree in everything. 44 Seance Dogs. That's the cap. That is the limit. And that is if you are the whaliest whale who has everybody up to 2,000 plus. And let's be real here, you're not. Well, so I feel pretty safe making that assumption. You're not. And 44 is not even enough to take him up to Omnipotent Plus. Let's do some math here. It takes 4 to get to Exceptional Plus, another 4 to get to Epic Plus. That's 8 right there. So we're up to 8. Then another 10 to get to Epic 5-star. That's 18. And then you effectively have to rinse and repeat. You need another 4 to get to Legendary, and then 10. So that's 14 plus 18 to get all the way up to Legendary. I mean, you're up to... That's 32 right there. And then you might, if you got every single one, you could brush up against Seismic. Maybe. But realistically? No. Realistically, you get 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then 2, 2 for the rares. That would be 18 plus 4 makes 22. That's not even enough to get you past, like, Legendary. I mean, it's not even close, if even that. So, here's the situation. He is a cracked character. He is great. He is wonderful. He is probably S tier. In fact, I feel pretty safe saying he's S tier. And not a single soul on this earth will can use him. Even if you are the whaliest whale, there's just a limit. Now, that limit will be mitigated when we do get future case files. But even then, to fully milk them, you gotta have up to level 2,000 characters if you're on hardcore and trying to get this very last Elite Plus. Again, not as bad for rares, but still pretty bad. Actually, no, we won't be able to see the level requirement, unfortunately, but the point is, this is a great character who is aggressively limited. Do I think that's a bad thing? Huh. I think it is a slightly frustrating thing. Because it is tough to be able to look at a shiny new toy and know that you're not going to be able to play with it for a long time. However, However, that problem will be mitigated once we get more case files. I mean, we've got 8 case files right now, and there's, what, 50 plus... Okay, so 50 minus so there's 46 characters in the game. 46 characters. That means, in the future, 46 case files, where you can get pretty reasonably at least one, and then if you take the character all the way up to 1,000, you get the 2 more. Okay. Now you're starting to get okay. But it does mean that this character, unless they release him in some other way, and they very well might, they could put him in like an exclusive shop or something, or make him a reward in the arena shop. Honestly, I'd be a little surprised if they didn't. I would really respect them keeping the integrity of Seance Dog by keeping him limited to case files. But it also means that he will forever be capped. A cap that will slowly raise every so often, but a cap nonetheless. So, whether you are the greenest noob or the saltiest whale, there's only so much you can do with Seance Dog, and that makes it really, really hard to enjoy an otherwise perfect support character. Like, this guy might actually beat Adam Eve. I'm not sure, but he might, especially if you give him the right artifact. And unfortunately, it's just not going to matter, because literally not a single soul on this earth can get him into any kind of competitive state right now. And you might be like, oh, well, what about like, new players? You think new players are getting this guy? You have to be at least 450 to get a single copy. And if you're getting the elite at the end of the case file, that means you're getting to at least level 1000 already. You're not a new player anymore. You're officially in the late game, my friend. It's like I said, I love it. I think it's great that they have special unlock requirements. But when the special unlock requirement is level 2000, my enthusiasm cools a little bit. This is not a critique. This is just me acknowledging a great system that maybe was not executed in the best way. I don't know. And that's a biggie that I want to see hashed out in the comments. What do y'all think of this unlock method? Because we're talking, this is a long haul situation. And like I said, even the whaliest whale can only take this guy so far. I fear that it's going to relegate an otherwise amazing character into irrelevance permanently. I fear that Seance Dog is permanently kneecapped because there's only so far you can take him. Am I right on that? Am I wrong about that? I don't know, but like, look at the collections. You'll never see Orange Flush on the top of the leaderboard with a Seance Dog. You can take Seismic up to 247. Right now, you can't even get Seance Dog up to Omnipotent Plus, much less getting him stars. And that's where I fear that history is going to leave our poor goodest boy behind. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the case file system has not old yellered this poor guy before he even got a chance to shine. But we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, though, we will leave it at that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I really want to read some comments hashing out what y'all think of his unlock method. I would love to know. And yeah, with that, we shall see you next time. Have a good one.